Welcome to the Prophecy Club. Our topic today is drones. And I think I'm going to be able to give you some information that you're not going to hear on the regular news. And I believe that this is confirmed through 38 prophetic warnings. Okay, so first of all, let me just say right up front, I did not know, I still do not know for sure, but I'm going to give you my opinion based upon prophetic warnings at the end of the program. And yes, we're going to be talking about these mystery drones spotted in the Northeast. Okay, first. The first one, I've got several news reports. Okay, I looked through all of your emails. By the way, thank you very much for your emails. And I looked through all of the news sources. I read lots of different news reports on them. Okay, so this is kind of a summary. So some of the news reports say there are thousands of sightings. Some use red and green lights as they do airplanes attempting to obey U.S. laws. Now, the first thing that says to me is that since they belong, it says to me it belongs to the U.S., not foreign. In other words, let's say if the drones were from Iran, Iran would not be putting red and green lights on it trying to obey our law or any other one of our enemies. So I think that rules out that it is outside of America. Next news report. Some have outran industrial grade drones, so they are nothing that the common man can access. Some reported that they disappeared. Now, in my opinion, that's doubtful. Just because they lost it doesn't necessarily mean that it up and just disappeared in front of them. So that's still saying they belong to the U.S., my opinion. News report 3. Some are fixed wing and were from 6 to 10 feet in diameter. That still says it's U.S., not foreign. Some 50 came off of the ocean, reported the Coast Guard. Okay, well, that still does not necessarily say it's foreign, in my opinion. Some say that they're looking for radioactive material because there had been some material that came up missing here in the United States, or they might be sniffing for gas leaks. But again, that still says they're U.S. This one says a nuclear warhead that has gone missing. I figured we were sniffing for something, but this is worse than I thought if it's true. The Russians, so this person's guessing too. The Russians have been also shipping in explosives for AQ, TB, ISIS, as you've heard in previous episodes, but this, if true, is much worse, or dare I say so. Still says it's U.S. to me. Is it possible that these drones might be special military pieces of hardware equipped to find tactical nuclear devices? Perhaps close proximity scanning is required to find a radiation signal of that type. Well, all of these still wind up to the point pointing to it's something U.S. made. Now, whether it is something we know about or drones that are above what the average person can access, we don't know. Here's another report. This one says breaking intel from a verified high-level source with top secret special access clearance just dropped bombshell info to us on the mysterious drones being seen across the U.S. These are our drones tracking gamma rays linked to possible weapons of mass destruction in a massive counter-terror operation. The Office of Global Access, a shadowy three-letter agency, has developed advanced surveillance assets to hunt for a stray nuke or mass casualty weapon hidden on the east and west coasts. The mission objectives would be detect communications tied to the device, partner with law enforcement to rapid response, prevent mass panic by advancing intel operations, assets in play, low-altitude surveillance craft scanning for signals, special op units ready for instant action, cyber intel teams analyzing terror. That's News Report 8. Now, Trump just did a brief news conference. And here's what Hal Turner says about it. President Trump has held a news conference in part about the ongoing issue of drones. He made it clear. The president knows, the military knows, they don't want to talk about it. Clearly, Trump now knows too. Here is the relevant part of President Trump's remarks today. Now, this is from Hal Turner. Overnight, I got word from 7 different sources out of the New York Police Department, so I know too. There is no way to report this without causing an immediate and widespread panic. Okay, what could it be? That the U.S. military knows about it, involved in it, but can't tell us what they're doing. There's also no reason to panic, but it would cause panic. Think Mad Max style panic. A lot of people could be hurt by that panic, so I'm not going to be the one to cause it. Period. Full stop. It is possible that people will die from the lack of reporting, yes. It is also possible that a lot of people would die with the reporting. In other words, a lot of people could die either way. Yes, so media outlets are damned if we do and damned if we don't. It appears we're going to take a hit. Let me read that again. It appears we're going to take a hit. I'm going to give you my opinion in just a second. Look, we here in the U.S. are now faced with an unprecedented situation, and it's not good. It appears, at least right now, that we are going to take a very big hit, an unprecedented hit. Bad, way bad. The situation is complicated by many, many things, and a widespread panic itself could cause in the hit coming early anyway. What? Let's go on. Long story short, the governors of several states told the feds, either you come clean right now or we're going to order our state police and National Guard to start shooting down these drones. So the feds don't want to start losing a lot of their own drones, which are up for a specific reason, so they came clean. And they say it's not aliens. I agree. The feds are looking for something on the ground, something bad. Let me read that again. The feds are looking for something on the ground, something bad. That's all I can tell you. Read between the lines. Rumors appear to be true. Okay, so here comes my guess. As soon as I heard these drones, and this was like, 3-4 weeks ago, I thought, well, I think I know what it is. I think it's Suitcase nukes. But of course, nobody listens to me. Just the guy that listens to God's prophets. Nobody wants to hear from God's prophets anymore. I said, but my guess is it's Suitcase nukes. I didn't even say this to Leslie. I didn't tell anybody about it. And you can believe that or not, but that was my guess as soon as I heard it. I said, they're looking for Suitcase nukes. So let's go back to our summary of active prophecies. I now have 38 prophecies, dreams, visions, angel visits, and one intel source that says that they're Suitcase nukes. Some reports say 35, some reports say as few as 10. I'll send you to EMP Shield. EMPShield.com, get you one of these devices. One goes on your car, each one of your cars, and also you can get them for the house. They're real simple to put in. They have videos show you how to do it. It's not complicated. I put one at my house and one of each of our cars. You just peel off the back here. Green here, this one. Green goes to the body of the car, black to the black terminal, red to the red terminal, and close the hood. It takes less than 10 minutes to do it. And I did it, so if I did it, you can do it. Also, we have 17 prophecies that says a meteor or tsunami or an earthquake hit. That's not what drones are looking for. Food shortage, that's not about drones. Dollar will fall, that's not about drones. Surprise Russian nuclear attack, that's years down the road in my opinion. So, what does it line up to be? Everything I hear says they're looking for Suitcase nukes. Now, again, go to EMP Shield use the promo code PROPHECY, get you a $50 discount, and of course it helps your Prophecy Club too. Okay, so now let me remind you, we've covered this several times. 5/17/2021, in a dream I was lifted up in the sky. I saw the outline of the north half of the state of Texas and the southern portions of Oklahoma. I saw 3 small nuclear detonations. Since I've never been to Texas, I had to look on the map. 2 of the detonations were Dallas and Fort Worth. The other was Lubbock. After the explosions, I saw people walking, no cars on the road. Why? Because it fried the computer chips in the car if they didn't have one of these. Look, when nobody else's car starts and yours does, that's going to be pretty nice. After the explosions, I saw people walking, no cars on the road, people walking to cities for refuge of food, water, safety, and the basics of life. All right, now there's more. This is 2021 Jason Meeks. This is also 2021. This is 7:30. This is 5:17. So this is an update on it. The dream starts out, we stopped at an ATM machine to get some cash out for the toll road. I put in my card, got $20 out, and ended the transaction. Before I pulled off, I realized I needed more cash. I put my card back in and got another $20, but the fee on the receipt now, instead of $1, had jumped to $42. Just for the ATM fee, which is usually $1 or $2. The transactions were within seconds of each other. What's that saying? To me, that's saying that the new financial system that Shane Warren told us about, Terry Bennett said a new currency system is coming. To me, that says that's the first thing to look for. Stan, when's that going to happen? Well, the truth is, I don't know, but my guess is it's going to happen shortly before, on, or shortly after the inauguration of Donald Trump. That's just a guess. Now, let's move on. As we drove back home, we stopped at a major bank. The television screens were showing massive arrests. Okay, let's talk about that. When do the massive arrests start? Well, it's not Trump arresting them. It's not American civil authorities. It's not the Border Patrol. We're not talking about people coming across the southern border here. These are military arrests that started in November 2017. I've covered this with an executive order then signed by then President Trump. And if they had corruption, it gave them authority to take their assets. And also, if they had incredible abuse of humans, as in child trafficking rings and sex trafficking in children, things like that. And shortly after that, that's when the arrest warrants, the sealed arrest warrants, begin to pile up. Normally, there is anywhere from 75 to 100 sealed arrest warrants at any one time all across the 50 states in America. But right now, at last count, there's, what was the number? Like over 400,000 sealed indictments. What's a sealed indictment? It's an arrest warrant. So they've got the wherewithal to arrest and to prosecute the person, but they're going to keep it sealed until they get all of the cockroaches, all of their ducks in a row, so when they flip the light on, they can catch them all. Now let's go back. As we drove back home, we stopped at a major bank. The television screens were showing massive arrests. I think I've got 14 different prophecies saying massive arrests. And if I get time here, I think I will. I have another one, not a new one, but just to show you, there's a lot of people that God has told this, if you want to hear what God says. And that's the problem. Most people in America don't want to hear what God says, and they wouldn't recognize it was God speaking unless he spoke to them. They probably wouldn't receive it then. Television screens showing massive arrests. An alert went out on my cell phone that said DJT, or Donald John Trump, was assuming control as the new president. Now, assuming control, is that inauguration, or is that before inauguration? It could be, can't rule it out, it could be before inauguration. Something happens, and all of a sudden he just takes over. We'll see. I expected people would be rioting and looting, but people were happy, celebrating in the streets almost like VJ Day after World War II. In the dream, a man came to me and started crying, saying how all of his evil bosses had been arrested and rounded up, telling me he was now in charge of the bank. He was a Christian and had been praying for this for years. Now, the big question is this, the ATM, part of the bosses being arrested? Probably. It might not be the same day, might not be the same week, but probably is. Let's go on. As people took to the streets in victory and celebration, we joined in. We jumped on the back of a fire truck to catch a ride in the parade because the streets were so full you couldn't walk. Everything was amazing. Then I heard a huge explosion. A suitcase nuke had been detonated within the city. I didn't see the explosion, but I saw the shock wave from it. We jumped off the truck, and basically it says we went for cover. Now, I do not necessarily think that here, let me back up, that this financial change is necessarily associated the same day. There might be some time between it. And then the next thing was, of course, Donald John Trump might not be associated, but it's probably going to be close. All right, then the next thing, the huge explosion. I want to believe that between these first two events and out here, the explosion, I want to believe that there's at least 6 months between these two. I don't know that, but Pastor Massey had a dream where he was asking the Lord to give us more time once the new system came in. And he says, you have 6 months. He said, no, can't you give us a year? He asked 3 times. Finally, after the third time, the Lord says, no, you have 6 months to get your wealth out of the system into gold, silver, or land. Of course, I'll add drilling rigs. And if you don't, then you'll lose it. Now, to me, that says suitcase nukes. So I want to believe the difference between the new system, Trump coming in, and then the suitcase nukes. I want to believe, I don't know, but I want to believe you got 6 months. I don't know that. I'm watching. Okay, be a good watchman. I'm watching. All right, now let's go on to the next point. This is further confirmation. May 24, 2022. The Lord took both of my hands. Instantly, I was looking down on the Red Sea. Pharaoh's army was in the middle of the sea. I saw the sea start closing in on the Pharaoh's army. Then the headline of the Washington Post read, "He's back. Donald John Trump is back." Now, what does Don Trump have to do with the crossing side of the Red Sea? Well, the crossing side of the Red Sea was God removing the enemies from the children of Israel. And there's a lot of people think that Donald John Trump was called by God to start removing a bunch of the evil from America, giving us a fighting chance. Let's go on. Then I saw a reporter of the Washington, D.C. TV station Fox 5 News on the microphone say they just called in the National Guard. They're putting security fences all around the White House, Supreme Court, and all other important government buildings. There's hostility due to the overwhelming truth coming out about the cover-up of the election now exposed in this takeover of America. All right, when would that take place? Well, it's probably not going to take place, just a guess, probably not going to take place after the inauguration. Maybe so, but I think it is before, on, or shortly after, associated with the inauguration. Again, that's just a guess. People were being arrested. A lot of mischief was coming to light. There were emergency hearings at the Supreme Court building. Okay, now, there's some people that think that the Munson case is about to upset a whole lot of things. And if you don't know about that, you'll have to research it. That's all I should say about that. There was anger and hostility. It was not just over Roe versus Wade. The truth was intentionally being revealed. God was exposing and shaking some things. The scuttlebutt on the internet is that when the day comes, they will start playing an 8-hour video that exposes all of the dastardly deeds of the bad people. And it's 8 hours, and it repeats 3 times a day for 10 days. Okay, let's go on. I saw senators, governors, and other government officials who had not accepted any cheating see video proof that was undeniable. They changed their minds instantly. Things flipped and totally turned around instantly. Yeah, well, we hope so. The news was forced to air this. It was overwhelming. The evidence took over the deep state. About 12 to 15 senators and mixed political leaders saw the video of the silencing of the witnesses. The footage of the silencing of the witnesses was to take them out. They were calling the video the silence of the lambs. It showed hostilities taking place inside the Capitol. The tables were turned against evil. Now revealing the truth, I saw some handcuffed, arrested, others running to avoid arrest. It happened fast. The deep state didn't have time to retaliate. Now, do you think that the devil's going to go quietly into the night? I don't. And I think that when Trump comes in, before, on, or shortly after, associated with it, especially that when they bring in the new financial system, especially when they start the new arrests, these massive arrests. And I heard audible words one day. I told you, I heard massive arrests, massive arrests. So I have what I believe to be, thus saith the Lord, the massive arrests are coming. Count on it. Do you think the devil's just going to roll over and play dead? Just let the good guys come in? No, he is not. And my guess is that's when he will set off the suitcase nukes. Now, it doesn't mean exactly at the time. That's the point. It may be 6 months. I'd prefer it be at least a year, maybe never. The suitcase nukes go off. But the point is, that's my guess. They're looking for suitcase nukes. How'd they find out about them? Well, I don't know. Maybe they listened to my program. One of the crusades, I had a police officer come up, not in uniform. He said, I'm a police officer. I won't tell you what department, but I will tell you this. He says, Stan, a lot of police officers listen to your program very faithfully. And I also have looked and I see that there's someone, how do I say this? Someone in very high positions that is a subscriber to Prophecy, well, Prophecy with Stan. So who knows? Maybe they are listening. Anyway, let's go on. I saw Mike Pence on the steps of the Supreme Court. He was helping overturn this evil. This was all carefully planned and executed. It was the reversal of procedures. They were reversing evil. They had some trouble completing the reversal. There were delays in restoring the presidency. They had to produce a new strategy. The reporter said, it appears that we have been at war with ourselves, a civil war, but we never fired a shot. And you remember Shane Warren, July 10, 2012, he spoke to Prophecy Club. He was shown a financial storm. He saw worthless dollars blowing in the wind as leaves. Second thing is he saw the dollar devaluate, and what caused the dollar to devaluate was when they start selling oil and another currency other than the dollar. That started June 9th of 2024. And then he saw a New Madrid fault earthquake, and he said, they have divided my land, now I'll divide their land. So that associates with Omar ushers in Palestinian state and the Israelis giving the Palestinians a new homeland, or a state, I guess I should say. Then the rest of the prophecy says, I saw the church arise with healing in their wings. And that's the reason I believe God spoke two words to me there, medical. If you do not have medical supplies, go to refugemedical.com, refugemedical.com, promo code prophecy gets you a 5% discount. I saw the church arise with healing in their wings, God prospering, many acquiring things, and a great transfer of wealth coming to the hands of believers. That's what Shane Warren has said. That's what Terry Bennett has said. Churches became cities of refuge. The body of Christ stood up like a mighty sleeping giant. Signs and wonders broke out. Entire cities became cities of refuge. So, are we at the door of this? I think we're at the door. Now, whether it's about to arrive, I don't know. But I do recommend get yourself prepared. Get yourself prepared. When the suitcase nukes, I didn't say if, I said when the suitcase nukes go off, if you want your car to start, if you want your computers and your refrigerators and things like that, anything with a computer chip to work, you want to have one of these from EMPShield.com. EMPShield.com. And they have videos up there. It takes about 10 minutes to put on. It's not complicated at all. And if you use the word prophecy, promo code prophecy, you get a $50 discount, and it helps your Prophecy Club. In 2021, I started making bread. And long story short is I believe God showed me that wheat is God's famine food, just like it was famine food back in the 7 years of plenty, 7 years of famine, days of Pharaoh and Joseph. And I believe that that's what God has planned to feed his people. And you get it by going to josephskitchen.com. 3 steps. First, you want to get a machine package. Second, you want to order 6 ingredients and watch some videos, download the recipes to be able to make the bread. josephskitchen.com. Most of your long-time storage food, emergency food, all of that, typically are talking $9,000, $10,000 to feed one person for a year. Joseph Kitchen can show you how to do it for around $1,000 a person, and your kids will actually eat it, and it's actually good for you. Here's some bread that I made. In my case, I lost weight, lowered my blood pressure, gives me more energy. I eat a morning, slice in the morning, slice in the afternoon. Always a slice before I go play racquetball. Go check it out, josephskitchen.com. As you recall, this past Saturday, November the 9th, the Lord spoke to me 2 words screaming at me loud like a trumpet. Medical, medical. I take that to mean that not only myself, but also those that follow Prophecy Club, in addition to all of the other preparations we've made, we need to start making medical preparations. And I put that out, and I was deluged with emails sending me to this place. This is the place that all of you seem to like when it comes to medical supplies. So I called them, hooked up, and I've arranged to get you a 5% discount when you use the promo code Prophecy. Promo code Prophecy, 5% discount, and it's refugemedical.com. refugemedical.com. And as you can see, they have all kinds of, here's one of the main things you need to get. It's called a burn bucket. This tells you all about it. They also have a business bundle, a home bundle. I think everybody ought to have at least a home bundle. They also have vehicle bundles, church bundles. So they already put this stuff together, and this is not foreign-made stuff. This is all American-made, and it's by a Christian company. And you go to refugemedical.com. refugemedical.com. We've got a new sponsor. It's sat123.com. sat123.com. I'm amazed at what this company offers. They got satellite phones. They've got Wi-Fi hotspots where you can even have internet any place. So Suitcase nukes go off in your city. If you don't have to worry about that, you still have electricity. It can go right up and connect to a satellite. They also have marine satellite internet. They also have satellite radios. If you don't want to lose your life's savings, if you have an IRA or a 401k, the thing to do is call 800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. These folks are Christians, and they specialize in helping people not lose their life savings in the event of a stock market crash and things like that. Look, most of the 401ks, most of the IRAs are in paper, backed by paper, and as Lindsey Williams says, if it's in paper, it's worth the paper it's written on. You can lose it all. 1-800-200-GOLD. 800-200-GOLD. Hey, give them a call. Doesn't hurt, doesn't cost you anything. See if they can give you some good advice.